Hello and welcome everybody to the second installment in A Murder of Crows based on Land of Vampires Slipping into Shadow by Beth and Jonathan Ball. It's a duet campaign for 5e, which you can buy at their online store as a PDF. It is the evening of the first full day that you have tried to make sure that Min Shaddai gets money so that she can finance her quest for finding a cure for her affliction, which is that she cannot use telepathy like everyone in her species she's Kalashtar can. And so she's been working for the cabinet maker and joiner for the day. She's returned home after her day of exploits, and it's been going reasonably well. Some people find it a bit weird because she handed the village elder her tools of the trade, which are actually thieves' tools or a lockpick, which she uses to pick locks. Unfortunately, the village elder Minna knew what was going on, and she's recognized this piece of implement. And as you are sitting down, again, the cat, who has now been named Darling, starts scrambling towards the window, gets up on her hind legs, puts her front paws against the window pane, and starts gazing out. Now it's already, as we've established, it's autumn, so essentially it gets dark a little earlier. So now it's maybe 6 o'clock and it's already dark. And again, it's the night after the full moon, and Darling is really trying to get out. What do you do?
She's a free spirit. I will open the front door, basically, to the. I would suspect I'm down in the shop, or I would go downstairs.
Yeah, you are downstairs.
Then I would just open the shop door, keep it open, be like, just be careful, giving scritches, and would let her out if she wants to roam. I think for Lyra, Darling is as free as Lyra is, or as Min is. If she wants to leave, she can leave. Okay. And Lyra will turn around and she will make a perception check of her things. Let's see. Oh God, I forgot. Perception is. I'm standing in the shop. That's the only thing I'm perceiving.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. You for some reason your eyes cloud over and your ears shut. You hear nothing.
No, I'm humming a little tune to myself. I'm just focused on going through what I have in stock. I'm seeing that the candy that the kids are buying are running a little bit low. And what Lyra's problem is, she has no idea how to make them, because she did not make them. So she's scrambling with ideas, and she will pull out of the shelf a smaller jar, much smaller jar. Will put it in the place where the candy is. Will fill some of them in. The rest she will store in the back room. And she will raise the price.
Okay.
For 1 copper more per piece.
Okay, so now it's 2 coppers a piece.
2 copper a piece, and we'll then go with the broom through the store and we'll clean up.
Okay, you go through the store.
And she will leave the door open.
Okay. Now, what you do notice as you are sweeping the floor is that Darling only made it as far as basically the threshold. So she's sitting on the threshold and she's looking at the sky, and she's making this ick, 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 ick sound that cats make when they're when they're focusing on prey that they can't get at. Min has already come back, and she is basically she's brought some food. So she brought dumplings, which she got from the inn, and she says, well, if we can, we could make a soup with these. If you've got some carrots and some, I don't know,
feel free
celery or whatever.
Upstairs through the cupboards, there should be some at least some carrots, some potatoes, and some onions. I definitely don't have mushrooms at the moment.
That's fine. We're going to collect those the day after tomorrow. So she goes upstairs and she starts rummaging, but she is actually doing it quietly. So it's you can hear that something's happening upstairs, but it's not like she's falling over stuff, which she's prone to do. In spite of her high dexterity, she's a little bit of a, I don't know, she's a klutz sometimes. And you can make another perception check for me.
Still humming, brooming, no sweeping is the word.
Okay. I mean, you hear nothing.
I have a very peaceful life in here.
You have a very peaceful life. After a while,
I don't have to worry.
Someone bumps their head against your leg, and it is Darling. And Darling has a black feather in between her teeth.
Did you try to hunt a crow, sweetheart? Or just give scritches?
She leans in and then she spits out or basically she places the crow feather in front of you.
I will take the feather and I will give it a little bit of admiration, because I think Lyra knows at least a little bit about cats, and she knows that they like to sometimes bring gifts and that you should admire them. And give them like a big well done and thank you. And oh, that's a beautiful one. Lyra would look at it and would like to try to see if it's a crow or raven kind of feather.
Survival?
Or nature?
Or nature?
I will take
I always forget that there's nature. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. You'd say it's crow. Simply because you know that...
It rolled weirdly.
Why?
It should be a +2. I don't know why it's not pulling a +2. Oh, because I'm not proficient. Ignore me. It's too late in the evening. It's a 13.
Okay. But anyway, you do know that ravens are very rare. And this is definitely a naturally black feather. So crow kind is the most likely. Because I'm not sure if one can tell, if you look at a single feather, if it's a crow, even in real life, if it's a crow or a raven, because of course ravens are bigger, so maybe their feathers are longer, but unless you have something to compare it to, I'm not quite sure if one would be able to tell. But you definitely think this is a crow feather.
Okay.
Okay. So as you're admiring this, you hear, dinner's kind of ready.
On my way.
Good.
And I will have a peek at Darling if she wants to go outside, inside. And I'll close the door if she doesn't want to go outside.
She actually looks at you, and then she looks up the stairs, and then she just basically jumps onto the windowsill of one of the shop windows and lies down and starts like rolling up and starts to clean herself.
Then I will close the door, lock the door. We'll put the broom in the corner where it usually stands, and I will go upstairs to join Min.
Okay, so essentially she has put out 2 bowls with and 2 spoons, and she also has ladled the soup into the 2 bowls, and you can see that she's also got a little pouch, leather pouch, maybe this size, which she's placed on the table. And she says, this is spice from where I'm from. You may want to try it, but I'm warning you, it is very, very, very spicy. And it's kind of like a little bit of a red powderish substance. And she takes it and she, she just takes a pinch between a forefinger and thumb and she puts it into her soup and then she stirs the soup. So to mix it in, and then she tastes it and she says, not too bad. Not too bad at all.
I will give it a careful try.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It is very spicy. Mm-hmm. It makes your eyes water a little. If you've ever had sinus issues, they're gone. Okay. For the evening. You can hear so well because everything pops. And you also feel, your cheeks are getting really warm.
Spicy but good.
Yeah, we call it chili. It's a plant. You pick the fruit, and then you dry them, and then you put them into a mortar, and you use your pestle, and then you turn them into powder.
Sounds interesting.
Some people even eat them fresh.
They must be very reckless to try that, I think.
Children sometimes do it on a dare. The one who can eat the most without crying wins.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was never very good at it. I like it. But I used to cry a lot because also I didn't know any better because I decided I was going to beat them one day.
That sounds... Yeah. Thank you for cooking.
Oh, I hope you like it. So tomorrow I have to be there at 8. So I don't know when you get up, but I will just get up and get myself some breakfast. And we can meet again for lunch. I'm not going to wake you up. And then the day after tomorrow, we're going to go and collect mushrooms. My problem is I don't even know what kind of mushrooms you have here. But you said you had a book.
Yes.
Can I read that book?
Sure. Lyra will get up and she will walk over in her little living room corner and she will pull a book out of the little niche where some books are stored.
Yeah.
And will put it on the table. And honestly, I've never collected mushrooms either, so it will be an adventure.
Do you think it's safe, though?
Honestly, I might take whatever we find to the village elder just to confirm that we can really eat them.
That's a very sound plan. And also, did you hear the noise outside just now? While I was cooking?
What noise?
It sounded like birds flying.
No.
Lots of birds. Okay.
No.
Well, then maybe I was just making this up.
No, it was just, but that might explain why Darling was sitting in the door, sitting outside, being quite interested.
I mean, the funny thing is, after dark, usually it's only like owls and night hunters, but there's never a flock of them. Owls or usually only hunt at night and alone. So it sounded like there was many.
Lyra pull out the feather out of her pocket and will place it on the table in front of Min. That's what Darling brought to me. Looks like crow or raven feather.
It looks like crow or raven, yes. Weird. Are they night active in these parts?
I honestly never paid attention to it.
Weird.
Mm-hmm. But I never heard any stories that they made problems or anything.
I'm not sure about problems, but the fact that they're out at night is weird. Well,
we could take, if not sure, it shouldn't be too late.
No, it's about
so
maybe 7:30.
We could go to the inn, get a drink.
Oh yes, let's.
Cool. Then let's clean up first, and then let's go out.
Okay.
So cleaning up stuff, throwing over a coat, and then leaving the shop and going south towards the inn to grab a drink.
You go south towards the inn to grab a drink.
As soon as we step outside, at least Lyra would stop and would try to listen if she can hear birds.
Okay, make a perception check, please. What is it with you?
I don't know, but roll 20 is definitely not
on your side.
It's not rolling properly. Nature shouldn't have been a 0. It should have been a +2. Let me try another one just to be curious. Let's go with Arcana. No, it's not adding anything. It's just taking the blank d20 and that's it. It's not pulling any kind of modifiers for my character.
That is weird.
And I don't know why. It might be because it's messing up because we have 2 character sheets per character.
Then we can just delete those.
That would be cool. So I'm rolling the old one, not the new one.
The question is, how do you delete this? Delete item.
Yeah, it's gone. Because it might mess up for Min as well. Not sure.
Because they are actually empty, so that would explain.
So perception was correct because I have a 0 on perception, basically. So that is fine, but the others should have.
Try rolling again.
Yeah,
maybe Arcana or something.
I reloaded just to see. If not, I will. We can manually calculate what's on top. It's not a problem. Yeah, for you it's rolling right.
When I roll on your character sheet, it did work now.
Now it works correctly.
Okay, good. Okay, so now we've resolved this. Okay, cool.
Okay, but the perception roll is correct, as I said, because I have a +0 on perception.
And you're not proficient. Okay, yeah.
And
okay.
I'm definitely so not proficient. So the 8, no, what was it? The 4 stands. So I hear nothing. I just hear.
You hear your own walking. You hear
Min's
your own,
walking properly, and that's it.
Yeah. The evening is a little bit chilly, so it's not by no means is your breath misting up, but it's kind of like chilly. So you notice that Min basically pulls her cloak a little bit more tightly around her shoulders. Well, I have to say, your country is a lot colder than where I'm from.
Oh, remind me when we're back. At least I can give you a scarf.
Oh, that would be great. So you arrive at the inn.
It will be quite colorful, though. I don't have a black one.
She smiles at you and she points to her hair.
Okay. So we open the door to the inn.
You walk inside.
And we hope there's warmth and light and probably
there is
people.
Warmth, there is light, there is people. There is a fire burning. People are drinking. There are now no meals because that's strictly a lunch thing. But, you know, if you want to, you can get nuts and that kind of thing. So it's like not even bar food, but she's got kind of snacks, you know. So also almost like whey bread, so oat cookies and that kind of thing that she sells. But and so
we're here for a drink, just a drink.
So do you go up to the bar?
Yes.
Okay. At the moment, it's actually Pete Banks, the son, who is tending bar, and he's Lyra, what can I get you?
A glass of wine for me. Not sure, Min, what you want?
She looks at the young man. He's about your age because you're in your early 20s. do you have anything with elderflower? And he looks at her and he says, well, we've got, yeah, we do have elderflower juice, watered down. So it's like syrup, but watered down. Oh, I'll have that. And so he gives her a glass of elderflower syrup. Or elderflower cordial, I guess you call it, and he hands you a white or red?
Red.
And he hands you red wine. And do you want to sit at the bar? Do you want to get a table, or what do you want to do?
If there's a table, at least Lyra would have a look around for a table where we can sit at, and when we walk past people, she would greet everyone. She's extremely friendly to everyone in the village. So she would say hi to everybody.
At a 19, there is a free table.
Awesome.
People also greet you. They know who you are. There are also still people who are travelers, traveling merchants, who are basically sitting there, who will be staying probably overnight at the inn. Upstairs, there are about 15 or so guest rooms, because it's a large inn. And so people talk, and again, people speak about traveling. So now they're kind of like a little bit concerned because winter's coming on and it's a little bit more chilly this time of year than it was last time of year. So they are remarking that this seems to be a very short autumn and that probably winter's just around the corner, which is unusual. Normally they would have one more month. And they're also talking about mushrooms again, so mushroom season, and about the gold, the delivery of gold that came into the country from the west, a couple of weeks ago, essentially, and that's the stories that they are telling at the moment.
Listen a little bit in, and then Lyra would probably ask a bit curious Min about, so where you're from? You don't have winter like this, or even fall. I'm not even talking about winter because it will be much colder.
No, it's I can't say we do. We basically, I would say maybe the lowest is 15 degrees plus.
Oh. So you don't know winter?
No, I've heard about it, and I've heard of something called snow, but I've never seen it, so I'm curious.
Okay, so we definitely need to get you a proper coat. If not, you will die here as soon as winter comes.
And she looks down because she doesn't wear any shoes, so she's always barefoot. She's like, maybe I need to get shoes?
I think so.
All right.
We will figure something out.
Because I really don't have that much money. And I mean, shoes are going to cost a lot of money.
Lyra will put her feet next to Min's. Do we have roughly the same size?
You are quite tall, she isn't. So your size is, you take
big.
Probably 42 size, and she's like 38. So... She could wear them, but then she would probably break out in blisters pretty soon.
Yeah, because they're too big. Okay, we will have a look. I can visit the trader tomorrow and have a peek what he has and to see how much it costs.
Okay. She basically puts her hand in her pocket and she takes out 2 coins. She got 2 silver for the day's work, and she puts them in front of you, and she basically moves them over. And she says, "Take these and see what you can get. I'm gonna get another 2 tomorrow."
Okay, we will see what we can find. As I said, a scarf you can definitely get from me, and I can easily knit you a hat.
You knit?
Or gloves, or pair of socks. That would be easy. I can't make shoes, so shoes and a big coat would be good.
Yeah. Because the traveling cloak that she's wearing, it is long, but it's also not heavy. So it's it would, you notice that it's made of a material that would keep away the rain. It's kind of waterproof, but it's not warm. It's light and waterproof.
Maybe also keeping the wind a little bit out, but clearly not the coldness. Yeah. We will see what he wants.
Okay.
There's still a few days until winter, at least, so I hope so.
Yeah, it means I'll have to stay.
Yeah, only if you like. If not, you can move on to the city. There, the winter's not as cold.
I think I'll stay.
Like that.
That's brilliant. Then I'll stay.
Cool. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. She drinks her cordial.
I will order a second glass of wine.
Excellent. And
we will just have a little bit of a chit chat and in between listen in what the travelers and what people are talking about.
So essentially they're also talking about the road to the east and how it's a lot shorter to go through the forest instead if you want to go east, but of course that's a little bit more dangerous. However, and if you have a wagon, then you can't go through the forest because obviously the axle would break. But if you are on horseback or if you're walking, then of course that is something that is preferred. But then they recommend that you bring weapons. So the ones that do that usually travel in groups, and at least two of them are kind of like more scout people. So they hire them, and they would have things like bow and arrow, maybe a short sword to ensure that they're also not attacked by boar, because boar are very dangerous. And then after a while, you're both greeted by Sina and Frank. Sina and Frank are the cabinet makers that are coming in just for a drink, and they say, Min, very good. So we'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy your drink. And they also greet you. And it's a nice evening. Then at some point somebody gets up and starts singing songs, and it's cozy. How does that make you feel?
Just enjoys it. She's holding on to a glass of wine, and I think she's getting quieter, but just because she's taking it all in and just enjoying this. And I think in between, Min would see her like taking a deep breath and really, she's not singing because she doesn't know these songs, but she's like a little bit wiggling with music and just enjoying herself.
Okay. So after a while, how long do you want to stay for?
Not too long, because we at least Min has to get up early, and Lyra usually is also not the one to sleep in. So I think until like 9ish, 9:30 maybe, and then we would call it a day. Would say goodbye. Would bring the glasses back to the bar that they can clean it up, and then have a walk back home.
Okay, so you walk back home, and as you are walking back home, you suddenly see a huge flock of crows. Again, coming above the tree line to the east, so beyond the fields where the forest is. But this time, last time you saw them at night, they were coming from there. This time they're descending and then vanish in the trees.
So there are our crows, eh?
Again, it's now, what, 9 o'clock, and they're still about? That is very strange.
Maybe something woke them up?
That is weird.
I honestly have no idea how crows usually behave. In the city you can see them all time around, but we have lights here and there, so... I only know that they're quite good in stealing things.
Okay. They're stealing things? You mean like shiny things?
And food.
And food. Okay.
They're smart.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's not good. And she basically holds on to her purse.
I think as long as they're staying out of town, we should be fine.
All right. Okay. Then let's hope.
When we get home, I will, before she goes to bed, just wait a second, and I will rummage through my little traveling
Bag?
I'm not sure. It is. Yeah, it would be a bag, and I will pull out a scarf that looks a little bit like her first ever knitting project. It's not straight. It's all kind of colors, but it looks loved. It's not the one Lyra is wearing. She's wearing a much nicer one now, but she's still carrying it around, and she's handing it over to Min. So it's not the prettiest, but it will keep you warm. I can see if I can get some wool to get a new one for you.
She takes it and she says, "Oh, this is what color is it? Because you said it was going to be colorful."
It's rainbow. It's all colors you can find. It's really like. Or not, it has been made out of scrap wool that you could cheaply get. So you have 2 rows of green, next to it a row of red, then a little bit of blue, then some white, then some pink. So it's really all the colors of the rainbow going throughout, but striped.
She takes and she says, "I don't want anything else but this. This is beautiful. How much do you want for it? I'll buy it off you. Or is it a gift?"
It's a gift. You can have it. It was my first knitting project. That's why it looks so crooked.
She puts it around her neck immediately. She says, "I've got nothing to give you."
Well, you cooked today for us.
Yeah, but I know. It's gonna take me a couple of days, but I know exactly.
Okay,
leave it to me.
There's no rush. You can just take it. I don't need it. I have this one.
And so basically, the two of you go to bed, and Darling again comes up the stairs, paw, and then she basically lies down in the bed with you and starts purring. Do you go to sleep or do you want to do anything?
No, I would go to sleep.
Okay. The next morning, Min, true to her word, gets up really quietly and starts making breakfast.
I think Lyra would be up probably as well.
So as you wake up, you sit up in bed. It's still dark out, so basically you light a candle or however you want to make light, and you notice that on your pillow there's one dark black feather.
I would have a peek around for Darling. If she's
Darling is still lying in bed. She's just woken up with you. Looks like it.
Have you been outside, sweetheart? And I would hold the feather in front of Darling.
She sniffs the feather and then just basically looks at you questioningly, because if this was a chicken, then she would likely eat it, but it's a feather, so...
Weird. I would get up, stretch, yawn, and would wash myself and would poke my head out, be like, "Good morning."
Morning. I didn't know what you wanted, so I've made tea, and I've made some eggs, and there's still some bread.
Yeah, perfect. That's all I need, and I can get a little bit more bread later on.
Okay. Then the two of you have breakfast, and then she basically says goodbye and walks out. But she does have kind of like a little bottle, and she puts tea in it.
Because
it's gonna be a little bit cold.
Yeah, I will go through whatever cash I have, which is still at least a bit, and would have her 2 silver, and would wait until sun basically goes up, and I know that slowly also the other shops will open. And I will keep mine closed, but I will walk over to the farmer to get fresh eggs and some bread. And then I would also go to the trader to see what winter clothing they have.
Okay, so you go to the trader, and as I've said, and even a merchant came to you and sold you stuff as well. So she's still, Anthony and Tabitha Tyrrell are still putting away the newest deliveries because they've also been stocking up for winter. They've all kinds of things. They've got coats, they've got hats, they've got mittens. Oh no, actually not mittens, they've got gloves, because mittens are the ones that only have like the thumb and then the whole hand, but people who work basically need gloves, and they're the ones where the fingers are, the tops are cut off so that you can still work using your fingers and your hands. So they've got those. And they've got belts and everything that you could think of.
I would look for basically a winter coat for Min and for shoes. That at least roughly, I will not buy anything today because Min should try it on, but at least to have an idea what they have and what it costs.
Okay. So they have boots, of course, which are quite expensive because they're made of leather, and they're also they're lined with wool. Then they also have fur-lined boots, which are super expensive, and you would be wondering who would buy those in the village. You know that there are some people who are quite well off, but then again, that's kind of fancy schmancy, you know. So, and then they've also got normal soft leather shoes, which are more tight fitting. So basically, you put them on and they're kind of like really soft. And they are, let's say, I would say a gold a pair.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can get something for her because she can have wool socks basically to keep feet maybe warm. She doesn't need the expensive ones. I will tell the basically the Tyrrells that I will send over a friend. She's working today at the cabinet maker, but she needs winter clothing because she doesn't have it. She's running around barefoot. I don't think she can keep this up for much longer.
Barefoot?
But different cultures, different rituals. She doesn't know winter. She's never seen snow in her life.
Is that even possible?
It is.
That is
interesting. I will send her over herself, or I will join her and we will both come because she needs to try on things because I want to make sure that
Of course. Yeah, sure. Is there anything that we should put by? I mean, what is she actually interested in?
She needs a winter coat. Preferably in a dark color, maybe. And shoes. I can give her warm wool socks, but she needs shoes, basically.
Okay, we can get shoes.
These soft ones look honestly quite nice. I can imagine that would be something for her.
Okay, then we will put those by. What's her size?
I have no idea. I didn't ask her. That's why I need to bring her over myself. She's
that
smaller
makes sense.
than I am.
They are you okay?
But you don't have to put them. We will just see what is there. Maybe we will come by. I think tomorrow before we head out to the woods to collect some mushrooms. We will just peek in.
All right, then.
Awesome. Thank you, and see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. And good luck finding mushrooms.
Thank you. And then I will go to south again, basically, and I will have a peek at... I'm not sure if the weaver might be the right one, or even the trader where I was, or a farmer. I'm looking for wool. I need wool to...
I would say probably the farmers would have wool if they keep sheep, because they would then shear the sheep and would spin the wool and use some of the proceeds from selling the wool to pay the person who sheared them.
Okay.
So it's usually something, actually the spinning is usually done in the home by people.
Okay. Yeah, then I would ask around which farmer would have some, or I would maybe even know by now. No, I would ask around, and I would buy a few balls of wool to start knitting some gloves and.
So, for example, you could get it off the Cantors or the Pellets or the Andrews. It's Charles and his son Hugh. The mother
whoever is closest by.
Yeah, that would actually be Charles and Hugh. The mother is deceased, but basically they keep the whole farm running, and they spin their own wool. So it's not just a woman's job. Basically, if you have sheep. Wool, you need to spin it.
Okay.
Because you make a lot more money if it's spun. And so basically this is something that is usually done, as I'm told, in winter, and then they have the wool during the summer to use it up, so that you can get some wool off them.
Okay, then I will buy a little bit of wool and I will take it back home, and then I will open the store. And will plonk myself in the chair behind the counter, and I will start knitting with the wool. And you can see, if you look at how she's knitting, she's not a pro. She can keep it together halfway, but she's part way. She needs to rip it open again and then try again, just to make sure that it's halfway okay-ish. And she will make a little... My English wording is not there. Is it...
Hat.
Hat. Is it a hat?
Well, it's a woolly hat if it's like a Mütze.
Yeah, it's a woolly hat then.
Yeah.
And that would be the first thing to make.
And as you are doing this, Darling comes in, and she has caught a mouse. She presents it to you very proudly.
Well done. Now... please eat it outside.
She looks at you indignantly, because I mean, basically, this is like, obviously she donated this mouse to contribute to the household income, to the household food store. You tell her to take it away. She takes it away. She goes outside. She eats it. You can see, because she's sitting in the doorway eating it.
So be it. I think Lyra honestly is not really believing that a customer will come by, or if so, then the cat probably will be scared off.
So as you are doing this, you suddenly notice that it's getting dark. And you look at the window, and you notice that the windowsill is full of crows looking in.
I would jump up, walk over, would call Darling inside.
Darling comes in.
And close the door.
Darling looks at the windows and she's like...
I'm not sure you can get them. I think there are too many for you. And I would... take my broom, would go outside and would be like, shoo, shoo, and would use the broom to try to scare the crows off.
The crows eye you as you're approaching with the broom, and they taunt you almost. So they wait to the very last second before the broom would touch them before they fly off.
They will have a flying cat following them.
A flying
cat? Because she will cast minor illusion. Okay. So there will be a kitten like out of nothing appearing right behind them, following them.
Okay, one question about minor illusion. This cat, is it something that you see or is it corporeal? Does it have like substance?
It looks like it has substance. You can't, as soon as you touch it, you know it's not, but it looks like it has substance.
Okay. They, let's see.
It's just to scare them a little. Also, it has only 30 feet reach, so it will not go too far.
Okay, so I don't know how intelligent crows are, but on a 5, they basically fall for it. The whole flock, or murder of crows, I should say, disperses like so, and they just fly off again towards the east to land and descend onto the forest.
And don't come back! I will just swing my broom and I will go back inside, but close the door.
Let's see. Okay. After a while, it's time for lunch. Do you want to go to the inn for lunch, or do you want to stay in?
I would go for the inn for lunch, because Min said she would be there as well.
So as you arrive, Min is already there on a 17. And she's still standing at the bar, and she's basically getting her bowl of soup and her piece of bread, and she's like, "Oh, hi,
hi,
it's soup again. Again, pheasant soup.
Perfect for this weather. I would like one bowl as well with a little bit of bread."
One bowl coming right up, says Minna. Says the innkeeper. Mrs. Shania Banks, and she basically puts a bowl in front of you with the bread. It's like, since this is the staple, they have like bowls lined up and then just ladle the soup into them. So it's a little bit of a conveyor belt thingy that they've got going. And Min is like, it's been a fantastic day. How has your day been?
I did a little bit of shopping, not much. For the coat and the shoes, we need to go together, because you need to try them, to be honest. I'm not sure if I would get the right size, but I have a few things. And the crows are in town, so keep your eyes open. I had to scare them off. They were crowding my windowsill.
They were crowding your windowsill? Why?
Yes, I don't know.
Are your crows really so people friendly? Because in my country, they just basically keep to themselves.
At least so far they haven't.
All right. Okay. I guess. And so the two of you have your lunch, and then she says, "Well, I need to run because I've got a couple of projects lined up for today, but I will be able to finish them, and then I'm going to get 3 silver because I'm doing overtime. Or rather, I'm not doing overtime, but I'm working faster than they were anticipating, so they gave me some additional stuff."
Awesome.
So I'll see you tonight.
See you around. Have a good day.
You
and
too.
I will stay a little bit longer at the inn, just in peace and quiet, eating the rest of my soup, and then when I hand over back my bowl and so on, I would just lean over. Have you had any incidents with crows lately?
Crows?
Yes.
No, not that I can recall. Why?
Okay.
What do you mean by incident?
Well, they crowded my windows today from the shop. I had to scare them off.
That is unusual. I've lived here all my life. I've never seen any crows coming this close to, like to a human house.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe sit on the roof every so often, but
But a whole flock. It was not just one. It was a whole group of them.
Okay.
But it was weird. It was just okay.
That is very weird. Yes.
maybe they're hungry as well. They feel that it's getting colder quicker.
Maybe they are. But anyway, if that bothers you, you can always, I don't know, maybe put out one of these. And she points to a charm, like it's one of those chimes that's hanging in the door. And she says, well, if you put those onto your windows outside, this will probably scare them off because they will probably dislike the sound.
Thank you.
Sure.
I'll put in my pocket, and then I will again say how good the soup was, and then I will.
She smiles.
Say goodbye, and we'll go back to the shop.
Mm-hmm. So you go back to the shop. It's afternoon now, so now the kids start coming in. They're kind of like a bit surprised that the prices have gone up, so they're basically now pooling the money, and they're like, okay, so we'll have to cut the sweet in half so that each of us gets half. And
you can't halve them, sweethearts. They're bonbons.
Too tough.
Yeah.
Okay, then
it's not chewy. It's more.
I see.
Really, yeah. So
all
it's
right,
hard candy.
Then okay. Can we do this? I give you 1 copper today, and you reserve 1 sweet for me. And tomorrow I'm gonna bring you the 2nd copper.
Sure.
All right. So I'm gonna choose a white one. That one.
I will put it in a little bag, write the name of the kid on there, and we'll write on it 1 copper check, 1 copper open, and we'll put it in a box.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so other kids
and
are
we'll
now...
write on the box reserved.
Okay, so a couple of other kids are also coming doing this. The twins basically both have 1 copper, so they pool their money to buy 1 sweet, and they're like, all right, so which one... So who's gonna get it though? They look at you. Okay, you choose.
Rock, paper, scissors is the game to choose. Come on.
Okay, so they play
3 rounds.
Okay, 3 rounds. So green and red. First one is green. Second one is red. And third one is green. So green, the twin, Bertie wins. James is like, all right, so then tomorrow I'm gonna get it. And he's like, yeah, of course. So today is my turn. He eats it. What's it gonna be? I'm rolling. I rolled a 9. What's going to happen to Bertie?
Let's see. He will... As soon as he talks in between, you will hear bark. And then he can talk again on the bark in between. So he makes basically chicken noises. He can still articulate and talk, but it's like if you have a hiccup, but a hiccup is not a hiccup. It's basically bird noise.
The 2 of them are in stitches. They laugh so hard. They hold their bellies. They're like, oh my God, I can't breathe. This is so funny. And the 2 of them giggle their way home.
And... Lyra is happy they're not annoyed with it, because she has honestly no idea what these things... It's always a surprise for her too, what will happen. She knows they are not doing anything sincere, and she knows they're wearing off quite quickly, but yeah, it's a surprise package for her as well.
Okay, cool. So evening falls, and at some point... When do you close up shop? Do you have a particular time, or do you wait for night to fall, or how do you do that?
I think around 5 o'clock usually I close up. I would have gotten on the way back from the farmer maybe a little piece of meat, not a big one, but a little bit that I could put into a stew, and would have gotten maybe a few more carrots. And would be upstairs then cooking something, putting the meat in there as well, so it will be definitely enough stew for at least this today and tomorrow.
At some point Min arrives and she says, look what I got, and she gives you 2 she gives you a little bag, and in this bag are 2 very big potatoes. She said to put them in the fire.
That sounds amazing. We would do that when maybe tomorrow or the day after. I made stew.
Perfect. So you basically put them away in the dark pantry because they need to stay dark. And you have your lovely stew. And then, you go about your evening affairs. You look again at the book. She really wants to. She looks at the mushrooms.
Will be over the book, looking at the mushrooms, getting any kind of idea what might be there, and reminding ourselves if they are colorful, we should leave them. And we'll just try to memorize, but we will take the book with us tomorrow so we can double check.
So essentially it says here that, the ones with the red hat and the white dots, we shouldn't eat those.
No, everything that is colorful is basically dangerous as far as I've spotted from the book.
It's almost like it's telling us, don't touch me.
Yeah, it's like that. So anything that's brownish, beigeish, whitish, grayish might be an option. We then need to double check and see if we can find the drawing and the description.
Perfect. All right. So it says here we should bring a basket.
Yeah, I have.
Rather than a bag. Do you have a basket?
I have a basket and a little knife that we can use.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. So after a while, she basically says she's tired, so she retires into the little room where you've made up a straw mattress for her. Darling basically nudges you and tries to invite you to cuddle up with her, because of course it's also a little bit coolish and she craves warmth because she's a cat.
I'll be sitting by the fire in the living room for a little longer, pulling out the needles again, and we'll try to do some needling, and I will just curiously... Oh, it's going quite well. It's going quite well. And after like half an hour, I would then get up and go to bed as well.
So you go to bed. The next morning, at some point you wake up, because you're not on a clock, so maybe you're even sleeping a little bit in, and you have breakfast.
Yeah.
And you make your way out into the forest to look for mushrooms.
In the basket, I would have we would have some water. I think Lyra would have a little backpack on her back with some water and some bread, and maybe just water and bread. I think just that. Or
Min is
maybe
also
a little bit of cheese as well.
Min is also bringing her bottle again, which she's filled with tea. You notice that she drinks a lot of tea, but she also has her own tea leaves, and the tea looks different than the tea you may have, you're used to. It's not herbal tea. It smells very different. And it's also a different color. It's quite black. Brownish black.
One day I need to try your kind of tea.
Of course. We can do it tonight.
It's different than ours, isn't it?
She holds it out to you. Would you like some?
Yeah. Lyra will carefully drink a little sip of the black tea.
It tastes like black tea, like English breakfast.
How would you react if you don't know that?
I remember the first time I had it, I thought it was very bitter.
Yeah, I think it would be... That's bitter.
Well, some people put sugar in it.
Oh, sugar, I could imagine being quite nice.
Or honey.
That would be a good addition. I would like to try a proper cup this evening. I have some sugar in the house, and then maybe I can sweeten it a bit.
Perfect. So the two of you walk off. You walk across the fields. So it's the fields have already been harvested. So now it's kind of like, you know, the autumn stubble that's still left. And you see one of the other mouse running around, scurrying around. And then there is still mist lingering at the tree line. So basically as you're approaching. And where the fields end and the trees begin, there are also bushes, and in the bushes you can see spider webs that have little dewdrops on them, and the sun that is kind of like still low in the sky, although it's already 9 o'clock because it's rising slowly now, is caught in those dewdrops, and it looks yeah, I don't know. It looks kind of peaceful, and Min is very fascinated by this, because she says, well, where I come from, we have many dense forests, but it's always very warm, very warm and very wet. See, and she points to the coat that she's wearing. This will keep off the water.
That is, well, we have a few wet days, but generally it's not that wet around here. I suspect that at least here in around this area is it similar the weather like we have basically in real life around here. So winter is cold, summer is warm, but it's more on the. You have a rainy day and then you have a dry day. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have quite a few dry days.
Well, I mean, you can say that once a day it rains for about 2 hours very heavily where I'm from.
That's a lot of water from above.
It is. And usually it's quite humid.
Nature must be much greener than it is here.
And we've got huge flowers.
I can imagine they will like that. Warm.
And it's like this all year round. Oh, there is sun. Believe you me, there is a lot of sun.
That sounds like an interesting place. That is very different from ours.
Yeah, and we also have different animals.
You don't have foxes and mouse and
oh no, we
boars,
do have
crows.
Foxes and mice and crows, but we also have and she describes an animal. She uses a term that you don't know, but she essentially describes a monkey. They live in the trees, like in families. They are very nimble. They have human hands.
That is weird. Never seen that. At least not around here. How big is the city that I came from?
Rather big.
Might have seen something with like a traveling...
Make a roll.
You know, entertainer. At least
10 plus,
I can imagine that monkeys, they might have something. Would it be survival, history, just intelligence to remember?
Whichever gives you... Do you have anything in any of these?
History has a plus.
Yeah, then roll history.
Or intelligence is blankly also. I would just blankly roll intelligence. Which no. I haven't.
You have never... oh, yes, you have. You rolled...
A 6.
6, okay. I was just like, where's the animal? Yeah. Well, you haven't seen those yet. She also tells you of animals that are really very, 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 very big cats that are orange and have black stripes, and they are very dangerous.
That I can imagine, because the small ones can already be quite dangerous.
Yeah, they're easily 2.5 meters long.
That is a big kitty.
I once saw a mum with cubs. They are really cute, but you don't want to cross the mum when she has cubs.
Oh no, she will be probably taking care that no one touches them, yeah.
But they're really cute. They're also kind of clumsy, and they have really big feet.
Like, well, the puppies we have here in between.
A lot like puppies. And so basically you reach the forest. When do you want to start searching for mushrooms?
I think as soon as it feels like we are at the edge of the forest,
so
we
would
that start looking.
Nature or survival?
I suspect survival.
Okay, then give me a roll. She will roll as well. On a 10. Not really. She finds mushrooms, but she's not sure if they are okay. You both find mushrooms.
We will put them in the basket, even if we're not sure. We can look at them in peace and quiet also later.
Okay, so you keep walking. How long do you want to look?
I think for 2 or 3 hours.
So
and see what we can find.
Okay, so basically, make another survival check. Oh, okay.
It's getting better.
So the thing is, you're also not getting lost, because obviously you're now in the forest, which is a place that you wouldn't have frequented in the past because there was no real reason to go there.
Yeah.
And it is a wild forest, so there are some parts that you see that maybe the hunters have made, and you also see animals. You see deer that are grazing there every so often, but you are not getting lost. You are keeping your bearings. You know exactly where the village where Homlet would be, and you feel confident that if you want to turn back, you will find it no problem. Okay. So after about 2 hours, you have filled your basket. You're pretty sure that there are that most of the mushrooms you decided to bring to pick are definitely edible, because they really remind you of the pictures, and you now can appreciate that the book was really well drawn. So the information there was really well presented. And suddenly it starts bucketing down. It's raining cats and dogs, literally, not literally, but figuratively speaking. It is raining so heavily that it's becoming difficult to see.
I think Lyra would just look for a big tree that gives at least a little bit of coverage, like an old oak tree or something like that, because they have quite dense leaves. And she would just plonk herself there. We need to wait until the rain at least slows down a little. We will get lost if we walk around in this. And I think that's the end of her survival instinct, because she's a big city girl. She has no freaking idea of nature.
Okay. Well, all is not lost. You find a tree. I mean, you are in a forest. It's not a problem finding trees. And essentially, the two of you sit around and you wait. However, the rain isn't letting up. It is getting dark, and it's also getting really cold.
It's getting dark.
Well, because of the rain. It's not like it's getting... I mean, it's not like night is falling, but, you know, it's...
Yeah, it's getting...
It's not unnaturally dark. So it's not like you're saying, okay, so there's something weird going on there, but it's getting really miserable as well, because the temperature has dropped. And of course, especially Min, while she is the one who's not soaked, because she's wearing her waterproof coat or whatever...
It's getting cold for her.
It's getting cold for her.
Okay. We need to try to get out of here.
Now make a survival check for me.
And I will use... Let me double read on luck, because it's different than it was before. Oh, what? Is that really... Honestly... I don't have the book with me. Okay, that is a feat I never have to take again in the new version. That feat is useless now.
It gives you advantage.
Yeah, so in the past you could decide to use luck afterwards. Now you have to decide before you roll, because you don't even know if you need luck or not, which is highly annoying.
I see, yes. Mm-hmm.
And I already rolled, so it's a 4, so it's done. And I know that the lucky feat is something I should not have taken, because I will not use it. So
First
it is like it is.
I'm not sure if it didn't come with your background, because I have it too. I think it's one of the ones that you simply get.
It might be that you get with the background. That might be one, yeah.
Yeah.
But sad to say that it's more or less useless now, or at least it's not even close as useful as it was in the past.
Yeah, I mean, I've never had it in the past, but
a lot of my characters had it in the past, because it was nice to pull basically afterwards if something really messed up. But here you get it. You are getting less, and it can do less, which is like, why?
Yeah, you only have 2 luck points. Okay.
Yeah, usually you have 3, or in the past you had 3, and as I said, you could do it afterwards. And now at least I read a little bit. I wrote down. It reads like, as I said, I don't have the book at hand. I would need to look for it. It gives you. You have to decide before you do it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so essentially, let's say you did do it, but you would still only have rolled a 4, because the second roll was a 1. So essentially, on your survival roll of 4, you get lost.
Mm-hmm.
And you trudge through the dark, through the forest, and you suddenly come up a building in the middle of the forest, and you can see it in roll 20.
Yep.
Now, make a history check with advantage, please.
And 19.
Okay, so essentially, you know what this is. This is the old moat house. You've heard of it. You've never been there. It's a ruin of a building that stood there a long time ago. It's called the old moat house because it's basically in the middle of a street. But it probably wasn't a moat house because there never was a moat. You know, it's like because it was more like maybe a stronghold of some kind, rather than just a house as part of the moat. And you know that it's been around for a very long time. Nobody really remembers who built it or why, but it's there.
Looking from the outside, does it look? Can we see the roof of that thing, or do we just see?
It is. Think of it as a tower. So it doesn't have like a roof like a steeple, but it's a flat roof made of stone,
which we can't see because
you
we're
can't
on the
see.
Ground. Not sure. It might be. Well, looking up, it still doesn't look like rain will stop, eh?
No. But now we've also left the trees because obviously the house is not under trees, so you can now see the sky, and you can tell you may have spent more than 2 hours waiting and trying to find your way. So it's now in the afternoon, and you know that the sun will start sinking at around 3 o'clock.
Would I have an idea, looking at where the town is, where the moat house is?
I'm gonna move you back to the actual to the actual map of Hamlet. And basically, when you look at the map,
yeah,
you see this thing here, where I'm pinging.
You're not pinging on my level.
Oh dear. Am I pinging on your level now?
Yes.
Okay.
I can see it. Okay.
So essentially from here to the left, that's still where the fields are. So you would be a good ways away from the town now. You think it's probably a 2.5 hour, 3 hour walk if you went straight back. So you can see it now. This is where the moat house is. Ignore the term unused road, because that's not an unused road, but this is where it is. So it's a good ways away. You have essentially walked in the wrong direction. You've walked away from the town rather than towards it.
Are you up for a walk in the rain and probably the last bit in the dark? At least we know where we are now.
Or maybe just wait here until the rain subsides. It's really cold.
Yeah, but sitting here freezing will not keep us warm. There's nothing here. There's nobody here. I'm not even sure if that thing still has a roof.
Well, how about we go inside and try and find out?
And then you want to stay the night here and die.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna die.
I think moving would be the best, isn't it? I'm not the outside camper. I've never camped outside.
Oh, I've done that plenty of times. This is how I got here.
I would just like to go home and get in bed.
All right. At that moment, you hear more than you see crowing and cawing. And you hear, oh, so many, many wings fluttering. And you see a murder of crows descending upon you and landing and surrounding you.
Let me read what it really does. From a whisper to a scream. That is just for puff of wind, musical note, snuff out a candle. No, that's not helping. I think Lyra would just look at them. Well, go away, you stupid birds. And her voice would get loud with minor illusion. So you would hear through half the forest. No, well, with the rain maybe not. But you will hear the voice echo like, go away, you stupid birds.
Poor birds. Make an intimidation check with advantage, please.
Let's see.
Oh,
that is a 21.
You intimidate them really well. They fly off cawing, but cawing menacingly and cawing in a very annoyed way, because you're really kind of like messing up their
afterwards. The last thing she will put over basically the loudness is like, I will kill and use your feathers for a ninth coat.
So you walk home.
You really think we can stay here? But we will freeze to death.
Well, we can always make a fire, but no, I mean...
But everything is wet outside. It will not burn.
Well, of course it'll burn. There are ways, but we can walk home. So you lead the way.
Okay. Lyra will cast... How long does it last? Let me see. An hour. And she can repeat it. So she will cast light on her basket. To have a little cozy light with her. And,
radioactive mushrooms radiating in the night.
No, just a basket. Just a basket, not the mushrooms.
Okay.
And she will take directions of from here. We need to go there, and then we just follow the road, basically. Do I need to roll survival for that?
Yeah, with advantage, please. Okay,
16.
No problem. So you manage to basically get in the right direction. You walk. It's still, I mean, it will take you a while to get to the road when...
And I'm sorry for you preparing a thing, but Lyra is not an outside person. And for her, it's like, as soon as we have the road, it's not as bad if it's getting dark, because we can follow the road also when it's dark.
Okay. Let me just see something.
And Lyra would walk in a quick way, just to keep the body warm and moving, and keeping Min also moving, because she's afraid that Min will be too cool if she doesn't keep her body in motion.
Okay, now let me see. This is a note that I should have taken. Okay. As you are walking, suddenly Lyra, Min Shirai stops. And she says, "What is it?"
Come. What?
Shh. Shirai says we're not alone.
Lyra will call out, "Hello, who's there?"
Shh. Are you crazy?
And she will, after her question out into the dark, no, I'm not sure if it's dark yet, but darker, she will try to listen. Would it be perception?
Yes, you can make a perception check. Yes,
11 is I probably don't hear much, except rain, if it's still raining.
You don't hear anything at the moment. Just bear with me for a second. But suddenly, out of nowhere, and I mean literally out of the shadows, step two figures that look like shadows forming in shadows, if you know what I mean. And they are standing before you.
You will hear a squeal as a free action from Lyra.
And we're all gonna roll initiative.
Oh man.
And why can't I actually... Oh.
Let me... I can only click at Min, not at myself.
You can only click at Min, not at yourself. That is not good, but we're gonna change that immediately. That is weird. She represents Lyra and she is controlled by save settings. Try again.
Yay!
Very good. Okay,
Sure.
So
The
essentially...
initiative will be yay. The initiative is yay as well.
Let's see if this works. Bam. And bam. And... Oh, okay. Very good. So, I'm just gonna, I'm trying to emulate you. I'm gonna give them colors so that we can refer to them as red and blue. And it is your turn. What do you want to do?
I already did my free action of squealing. Oh god, new character. What can she do? Is that about... I need to add. No, this is an action. That is annoying. Is that a concentration? It's not. Oh. Oh, it gives me a +1. Is it worth it? I think it is. She will cast Mage Armor on herself. So she has, and it's not concentration, it's for a duration of 8 hours. And her AC is now 13 plus Dex. So it is, instead of 14, it's now a 15.
Okay. And is this your action?
Yep, and I think that's all she can do.
Okay, so now this is interesting because I've never played a monk before.
It's no, everything else is also an action that I have. That's action for sure. That is a reaction. I don't need that. Yeah, that's all I can do.
Okay, so essentially what she's going to do is, you have never seen anything like it. She rushes towards this thing, which is her movement. Then she performs very quick movements with her hand and legs and seems to be hitting that thing. And it's not rolling. This is terribly annoying. Okay, so we're gonna have to roll using dice.
But it's rolling. I see a lot of attacks, and you just have to click to get the damage.
Okay, so we're gonna take the first one because this was her. So it's a 15, which strikes, and she's attacking red, and she does 9 damage. Okay. And she uses... Wow. They are so overpowered. And then she uses one of her focus points. And then she can do 2 unarmed attacks as flurry of blows. As a bonus action. So that is the second one and the third one. And she does 5. And then she does 8. So the first shadow dissipates.
Woohoo! Will be what I would be doing. But maybe they're friendly. Well, not anymore, probably.
This thing is now standing in front of her. And it... Yeah, I guess it attacks her. It lunges for her, but it actually misses. It's your turn.
Banned by a creature, okay. I also never played a Warlock before, so I'm just like, why? I really have basically no spell slots. That is...
You have no spell slots, what?
I have only 2, which is basically nothing.
Is that normal at level 3?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just reading. Well, I have a few spells I can do without extending spell slots. The mage armor, for example. I'm just not sure how often I can use them. At least quickly I can't find it. So we will just presume that at least once. Stop clicking in my character sheet.
Sorry.
My spells.
Sorry.
I will walk over here to here to have a better look, and I will cast. Is that fire? Let me see. It doesn't say. No fire damage. What to do? What to do? She will cast Witch Bolt on it. Which will not hit. Or does it? No, it would not be with advantage because it's a range attack. So an 8 probably will not hit, right?
No, it does not hit.
That is annoying. Will be a stomp. And that's all she can do.
Okay. Then Min will try to attack this thing. This is crazy.
Oh, she's good. She has a +5, so...
And she will expend 1 more focus point. And as a bonus action, we'll do 2 more unarmed strikes. This is so overpowered.
Natural 20!
So it's
10 points on top of that.
And 1 more. This is crazy.
You are rolling 19, well for 24. Her.
Okay, this thing is still standing. And it's going to try and attack her. And on a 9, it misses. It basically...
Thank goodness.
Yeah. I don't roll so well for my monsters, I'm afraid. So it's over to you.
Eldritch Blast in the face. Now we go cliché Warlock, because I can do Eldritch Blast all day long.
Oh, yeah, it's a cantrip, isn't it? Oh, yes, that hits, yeah.
And it's 120 feet. It doesn't make much damage. 1! But at least it hits.
Okay.
So you see a little bit of like an energy hitting it with the 1. With 1.
Okay, Min is doing it again. She attacks with a 13. It's unbelievable. She still hits. And she does 9 points. So, and it is the shadow. And it touches her again.
It's not good.
Oh, it hits.
Oh, that's not good.
And
that I can only use if I get damaged, right? Action. Being damaged by... Yeah, sadly so. Okay.
She takes 12 points of damage.
That's a lot.
And could you roll a d4 for me, please?
Yeah. Wait a second. D4.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Min.
And then it's your turn.
I will... You do Reduce an enemy, you can... Reduce an enemy to 0, you can get temper. She will try Witch Bolt. No, she will try Scorching Ray. It's the question. It's 3 rays, so I need to do 3 attacks, I suspect. Scorching Ray. Yeah, I need to do 3 attacks because it's 3 rays.
Whoa, whoa.
So the second one, I guess, is the only one that hits.
Yes.
So 18 points of fire damage in the face.
Blast this thing with your Scorching Ray, and basically it's like when you are in a darkened room and you basically shine a light using one of those bullseye lanterns, and it looks like the shadows are all fleeting away. That's what happens. It basically dissipates. And you notice that Min is not only hurt, but she's also Min is also she somehow seems to drag her feet and to feel when she walks, it looks a little bit funny.
Just wait a second. Are we still in initiative, or
no,
are we?
You're
okay,
out.
Then I would walk over to her, put my hand on her shoulder, and would do healing hands. I can touch a creature and roll a number of d4s equal to my proficiency, which is not much, but it's 2 d4s. So 7 hit points she's getting back.
Okay, just for your information, the shadow, as you know, does strength drain, which doesn't make any sense against a monk because her main feature is dex. So I've actually reduced her dex by 4 by the d4 that you rolled, because otherwise it has no influence on combat for her. So I've decided to treat the shadow in it's going to drain the one ability score that one has that is the most important. So that's why she's walking a little bit weirdly, because her dex has now been reduced by 4 points.
But at least she has a few hit points back. Ow.
She looks at you and she says, "What was that?"
I have no idea. What the heck?
I know. And suddenly you hear the cawing again, and you hear more than you see fluttering of wings in the trees above you.
I would hook myself basically, or no, I would grab Min's hand. We need to leave, we need to get home. And she would call out again, just fuck off. I'm sorry for not being PG, but that's
You're
would
walking
just
away,
be like
you're walking really quickly.
Yeah, I would be dragging her in the direction where I think the road would probably start in the next to get closer to home.
You get to the road and you come upon a man. And he looks at you. He's wearing a traveling cloak, a tricorn, very good looking, very handsome features, a beard.
No,
you've seen him before.
I've seen him before.
And he looks at you and he says, "Fancy meeting you here."
Is it the one I was trading with?
No. Oh, well, you could say that you have struck a bargain with him.
Oh, Lara would freeze.
And who's your little friend?
She's not little.
Oh, compared to you, she is.
What are you doing here?
Well, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And what's that? And he basically snaps his fingers and a crow feather slowly floats down from your shoulder onto the ground. And then he makes a picking up motion in the air.
Are they doing?
No, they're not. They're hers.
Hers?
I guess you would call her mother. And he blows on the feather and the feather vanishes.
Your mother?
Your mother.
What?
Well,
I don't... Well, physically I must have a mother, but actually I don't.
Of course you do. You're a human. You all have mothers.
Here to help or to... It's bad timing to call in a favor now.
What do you mean it's bad timing?
Is it still raining?
It is raining.
It's wet, it's cold, and we are actually on our way home.
Oh.
Do you want to join us? There, at least it's warm and cozy, not this cold and wet.
He snaps his fingers, the rain stops, and you find yourself in your shop. Is this better?
Much better, thank you so much. And the whole time I would have held on to Min's hand.
On a 15 plus 2, she's a 17 on her wisdom save. She's doing fine.
She's keeping together.
She's keeping it together. She is... you've noticed something. She can be quite composed, but you also hear that she's talking under her breath with Shirai. Mm-hmm. Really quietly.
Thank you. Do you want tea?
Tea? Why not?
Coffee.
Tea. Yes, tea. I'd love some.
Follow me, and she will go upstairs. She will let go of Min's hand now.
He will go upstairs with you. He will look around
she will
and
set
say,
up hot water.
Well, I wouldn't say that this is a step up from where I last saw you. Unless, of course, it belongs to you.
It's mine. I'm renting.
Oh, in this case, whatever happened to Casimir?
I don't care. He's back home.
Is he now?
I decided I'm no longer his slave.
That's my girl. Thanks for the tea.
You're very welcome. Thanks for getting us home safely.
He sits back.
Say mother. Well, I know I physically must have a mother, but she didn't care. She was never there.
Oh, my heart goes out to you. Well, anyway.
Is there anything I can do for you?
Have you not met anyone in the woods today? Like shadowy figures?
Yeah, 2 of them. We got rid of them. Well, although mostly my friend.
Oh, did you know? Well, that's a surprise. They can be quite nasty. Did they touch you?
They touched her. I tried to heal her a little, but
they touched
she's still
her.
Not fit yet.
He snaps his fingers. Well, that's that taken care of. Well, to cut a long story short, there is something going on. And I don't like it. And the fact that your mother is getting involved shows me that she's not liking it either.
Is she sending crows? Or are the crows the bad thing? Because the crows are behaving very weirdly.
They're like concentrating on you, darling.
When you say it like this, a little bit, yes.
That's her calling you. I'm just wondering why she isn't here herself. Maybe something happened to her. I haven't seen her in a very long time.
Well, it doesn't matter. She's not important. She's never been there, so...
And why is that, you think?
She doesn't care for me. She never did.
Well... Humans always judge so harshly, so quickly.
Quickly. She left me stuck with someone like Casimir for years until I was old enough to be my own person.
Well, so maybe now is the time to find out why that actually happened. But I've already said enough. She would hate me for it already, so let's just ignore what I just told you. Anyway, I'm here to call in the favor that you owe me.
Okay.
One of them. So, I wanted to go north. There is someone there. And to cut a long story short, go north and you will find that there is a fiend there that's drinking people's blood. Killing them. Trying to get stronger. Trying to open a portal. At the moment, he's just trying to get back.
Back to where?
Where he once came from, a long, long time ago. But once he's there, he's going to open the portal in our direction. And everyone is going to stream in. You don't want to see that, it's going to be mayhem. And it's so boring when all of you get killed. Nobody to torment.
Do you have an idea how far north? North is quite... We could walk for weeks north.
It's going to be a couple of days.
Okay, so... Packing
I want you to go to Nocturne. Ask around, people will know where it is. Be sure not to go there lightly. It's gonna be dangerous. He is dangerous.
Well, if he's drinking blood, that doesn't sound like a good person.
No, he's not a good person. I would say he's not a person at all. But then again, who is? And he buffs his nails. And you see little horns sprouting from his forehead. Oh, I'm so sorry. Go back. That's better.
Okay, you want us to catch him so you can deal with him? Or should we deal with him?
No, I want you to kill all of his spawn. Because you must have raised them by now. And then follow him. Try to find out what he's up to.
What do you mean with spawn? Is that the shadowy things we've seen?
Oh no, those are minor beings. No, you see, those that drink blood can turn humans into their ilk. Less powerful.
Like vampires.
Yes, like vampires. Although they don't like to be called that.
It's just the stories we know. So kill spawns and then follow him.
Follow him into his world and try and find out what's going on there. The fact that he is trying to get back means there is something that's drawing him back. And I want to know what that is. And I also want to make sure that he doesn't open a portal back. And while you're at it, give my regards to your mother.
I hope I don't have to, because again, as I said, I don't care. She's not important. So we need to find what draws him back. Should we stop anything or do anything with him? because we don't want him to open clearly the portal in our direction. Well, we need to open the portal in our direction if we go into his world.
Oh, it's no problem getting there. You will just be able to follow him. Just follow his spawn.
Yeah, and how
before you kill them.
And how do we go back?
That's for me to know and for you to find out. But you'll be doing fine.
She's just thinking. She's not saying, but she would be thinking like all these cryptic, clear guidance. But okay. Smile. Take a deep breath. So again, we should keep him alive? Wouldn't it be easier just to kill him? Well, we can still end him. You can end anything.
Yes, one can end anything. Let's just say I doubt that you would be able to end him just now. Maybe later.
Does he have a name?
Oh, he's got many names. I don't know what the name is that he goes by now, but you will recognize him. He's a tall fellow, dark hair. Some say he's very good looking.
Like you?
Nobody's as good looking as me. He doesn't have horns. He's just got fangs. Make sure he doesn't get too close.
Well, he will lose his fangs when he gets close, but that would stop him. He sure would have problems drinking then.
Oh, they regrow.
Ah.
His horns come back. Like these.
That's annoying. Not your horns, his fangs coming back. So if we have the chance to kill him, should we just do it?
Try. I mean, an ended vampire is better than a dead one.
Understood. Anything else we need to know? Or I need to know? Is there a time limit on this? Can I take 1 or 2 days to prepare? Or is it time sensitive and we leave basically now?
I wouldn't leave now. I would basically, you need somebody to go with you because going on your own is going to get you killed. Also bring that. And he points to the cat. Vampires really don't like cats.
Oh no, she needs to take care of the store. She has to stay here.
So when you find a cat over there, make sure to bring it. Vampires really don't like cats. They're much too much like them.
We can just... She snips and an illusionary cat is sitting next to her on the floor. I can just do that.
He looks at the illusionary cat. That'll work. So then, we're agreed.
Oh, I have to give the favor back.
One of many, I'm sure. So then, when you're back, tell me how it went.
I will.
Good.
Thank you again for bringing us home.
Oh, it was nothing. I'll let myself out. And he gets up, he walks down the stairs. Do you interrupt him? Do you do anything?
No, I would just make space for him to leave.
Mm-hmm. And you hear the door open, you hear the little bell going ding dong, and he walks out and he closes the door very quietly.
Go north. She will just... I don't think she will pay attention to Min at the moment. She will just go to her little reading corner, pull out a basically piece of paper like a notebook and write a few things down that she doesn't want to forget from what she heard as instruction. Okay, so I need to find 1 or 2 fighters and go north. And I need to find someone who runs the store. Huh. Oh, Min, would you mind taking care of the store while I'm gone?
Come again?
Oh, you heard it. I have to leave. So it would be
I also
lovely.
heard, don't go alone. Bring someone with you or else you will get killed. And Shaddai confirms that this was the words he used.
He did. I can see if I can find some fighters around to hire.
No. I'm going with you.
But I don't want to put you in danger.
But you would put some people that you don't even know in danger because...
They are paid mercenaries. They lived the life of danger.
Yeah, and that's the point. They are paid. What happens when either the money runs out or they realize that they're in over their heads?
Then I will have to do it by myself.
Or with a friend. That's it. Shaddai and I are in one mind about this. We're going with you. And if you don't want us to walk next to you, we will walk one step behind. But I dare you try lose us. I dare you. Because I can be very stealthy and very sneaky. And she walks into a table.
Are you sure you want... You don't... But I don't want to get you killed.
This is what I trained for. You said you wanted a fighter. This is what I am. I spent my whole life in a monastery training for just that. It's what we do. My order.
Sounds like a very hard and not happy life.
No, it's happy. My problem was that I can't read other people's thoughts. That was my downfall.
A lot of people live life without having that ability.
Not the Kalashtar. This is why I'm here. I'm trying to buy this elixir. You said it was 50 gold.
Yeah, but it will not bring us money to do this. I'm just repaying debt.
Yeah? And I'm gonna help you with that. Because you gave me this.
I could give you money for the job.
So you simply don't want me to, you don't want me to come with you. That's okay then.
No, I
No, that's okay. We're gonna leave on the morning. In the morning we're gonna go to Linolin to see can I get a job there and maybe find somebody who can sell me that elixir. I wish you good luck.
Okay, if you don't want to listen to me, then have a nice life. And
what
you
were
can
you
find
going
another
to say?
place to stay.
What
Good
were
night.
you going to say?
There's the door. Go.
She stands there and she looks at you.
You can leave now.
No, I want to hear what you had to say.
No, you don't want to, obviously. You're talking over me. I don't need people like that in my life.
I'm sorry. She goes upstairs, she gets her stuff, which she didn't bring, and she leaves.
I will let her out the door. I will close the door and I will go upstairs.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And we'll slowly prepare and make a list what I need to get, what I need to organize.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you do that. Next day comes around. What are your plans?
In the morning, I will go out. I will go to the trader and see if he has arrows from a short bow.
Yes, no problem. He's got those.
And to just have a snoop around what else he has. She has everything. She doesn't need much, to be honest. So to have a look for that. And then she will walk back and will visit the village elder.
You visit Minna. Minna is in.
And she will ask if Minna knows anybody who would be able to keep her shop running at least a few hours per day.
Why do you need someone to run your shop for you?
I have a job to do, and I might be away for a little while.
Oh, all right. Well, I suppose. I mean, we can definitely organize this. Maybe we will take shifts. I mean, I can do a couple of hours in the afternoon when school's out.
Just that whoever wants something, that they can get it. I could show a few of you where you can find what.
Well then, if you feel like it, we can do it now. You can show me now.
Do you want to do tomorrow?
Sure.
Today I will do sorting everything, and tomorrow then I can show you everything. That would be lovely. And if you have anyone else in mind, that clearly I will pay for you working in the shop.
We'll see how much money we make with the shop, and then we can reckon it when you get back.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem at all.
Do you know? No, we don't have that. I will ask in the inn.
All right.
And she will next go to the inn and will just I don't know who's behind the counter.
It's roll a d4 for me, please.
D4. 3.
It is Brian Banks, the middle son.
Okay. Brian, do you know by any chance if there are like hunters, scouters, anything at the moment around here? Or if someone comes in, can you ask around if someone is looking for a job?
Well, I can ask, but for the next couple of days, they will. I'm pretty sure that for the next week or so, nobody will come in because it's now hunting season. It's high season, so they're all out. Why?
I could use 1 or 2 strong hands that know how to fight.
Hunters are not fighters. That's not what they do. They hunt.
Oh, they can hunt and they can still kill.
I'll see what I can do.
They're all very good with the bows. Maybe someone would travel through. I don't want to bug anyone that's living here. Can you keep eyes and ears open?
I will.
I will be in this afternoon again.
Sure.
Oh, and by the way, did my friend crash here tonight?
Your friend?
You know, the little bit shorter one, dark clothes?
No.
That I was hanging out with?
No.
Okay. Thank you. See you. What will be there for lunch?
Today it's again soup, but today it's mushroom soup.
Mushrooms. I forgot about the mushrooms. Oh, then I'll peek in later. Thank you.
Sure, see you then. Bye.
And she will walk home, thinking at the moment now, like, she totally forgot the mushrooms. The basket is standing probably still right next to where she just let it drop.
Yeah, it is there. When you get back, it's there, sitting there.
Let's bring her to the elder. Maybe she will like a few mushrooms. I don't need them. She will grab the basket again, and she will walk back to the village elder.
Minna again. Oh, you're back so soon.
I have mushrooms that we collected. I don't need them, honestly, anymore with plan changes now. Are you interested maybe in... Although please check if they're edible. I'm not 100% sure we picked the right ones.
Sure, hand them to me.
I will put the basket in front of her.
She looks over them. She says, that's a very good collection. It's easily 2 gold. She then takes money and gives it to you.
No, thank you.
You're welcome. I've got mushrooms now. But who's we? Who's we who collected them? You said we collected them. Who's we?
My friend with the interesting job.
Oh, the one who's a lockpig.
Well, she I think she's gone. I'm not sure.
She's your friend. Why do you not know where she is?
Well, we had the fight.
You had a fight?
Yes.
And she just walked out?
Well, I basically told her goodbye.
Kids these days.
Oh well, enjoy the mushrooms. And see you then tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
And with the 2 gold, I will go to the farm. We'll get bread and cheese. And
make a perception check.
Have like cured meat or anything like that to get that as well. Anything that you could basically have as travel stuff. Perception. Oh God, where is it there? Perception. No, I'm not perceptionist.
This is unbelievable. You've never rolled so badly on perception.
No, I know. This character has no perception, as we stated by now. Perception is not her thing. She can do other things.
Perception is not a thing at all.
Perception is not a thing at all.
So you basically do get some cured meat. They do give you some bread. Yeah.
She will bring the things home, and she will leave again, and she will walk up to the cabinet makers.
Yeah, you arrive at the cabinet makers. Yes.
And she will just peek in, see if they're there.
Yes, the cabinet makers, Sina and Frank Henderson are there. Jill and Mary as well.
I was just curious, was my friend done with the job that you hired them for? Or is there anything still open to be done?
Are you volunteering?
Well, I'm not sure if there's anything open, if she will show up again. Just want to make sure that there's nothing left to do.
Come again? You're trying to... Yeah?
Left town, I suspect. So.
She left town. That's a pity. She was very good.
I know. At least I don't know where she might have stayed. So I think she left.
I thought she was staying with you. She said that she stayed with you.
We had a little bit of a fallout.
You did?
Yes. So was she done with work, or do you need help with anything?
Well, I mean, I would always have work for her. She was very good at what she was doing.
So if I come across her again, I will tell her that she can find a job here, because she needs money.
We paid her.
I know. But the question was, is there anything still open?
There's always something open. I mean, look, she made this. And she holds up a little bird. a carved bird that Jill is playing with.
That's really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as I said, I'm not sure if she will be back.
Well, if you see her, tell her that she's welcome. She can sleep in the barn.
I will tell her. Thank you.
Okay.
And I will go back to the store.
Mm-hmm. To your store.
Yeah, to my store. We'll keep the store closed for today.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll walk upstairs to clean everything, tidy everything up, put everything where it belongs, going through what I have, and start packing my bags. And for lunch, I would go over to the inn.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
okay, so
to grab lunch.
as you do your cleaning up, you find two things. Number one, you find the amulet that you'd given to Min. And number two, you find a little carved medallion that shows a beautifully carved crow in full flight.
The crow medallion, what is it made of?
Wood.
Okay, so it will land in the fire.
Okay.
And will be burned up, and the other one she will look at and she will be like, stupid, it was a gift. And she will place it on the mantle of the fireplace, basically. So when you're back, you can pick it up. Okay, packing. No, food is first. And she will, go to the inn and will...
In the inn, you actually see Min Shaddai sitting there with her cloak over her head, her hood over her head, and she's eating.
I will order some food. And while I wait for the food, I will just walk over, lean over next to her. You forgot something at my place. And the cabinet maker would like to hire you for longer and give you a place if you want to stay. And then I will just turn around and go back to the bar to wait for my food.
Okay. You get your food, you eat. And then what do you do?
Is she still there or has she left?
No, she's still there. She's drinking tea, it seems.
Okay. I will give back my bowl and I will walk back to her. You want to collect the rest of your things later today?
Sure.
Okay. And she will awkwardly turn around and leave the inn.
You leave the inn, but she is actually following. She says, can we not talk about this? This is all really weird.
It is weird, but I'm done with people talking over me and ignoring me and thinking they're better than me. I don't need people like that in my life anymore.
What do you mean anymore? Have you had this before? Because we've only met like 2 days ago.
I lived my whole life through being treated like dirt. I'm done with that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just didn't feel like I wanted to be brushed off like you did. Like I was nothing. Like I couldn't help. Because I can do things.
I didn't say that you couldn't help. I just want to keep you safe.
Yeah, but I mean, who is it who can make those decisions for somebody else? Am I not my only person? My own person. So if I say I want to go with you and I don't care if it's dangerous, that's my decision.
My last offer was that I wanted to give you a little bit of money for accompanying you because you are losing time to earn your money. And then you reacted like I'm a stupid person and you just talked and ignored me and then I was just done with this.
But you cannot pay a friend.
But you don't have time to get the money you need. I need to give you something for that. We need to make sure that you get the abilities that you need.
Well...
And while we do that, there's no way to earn money. Because we will not get money from him for that.
But I mean, you said it was 50 gold, and I would have to go to Linneland to buy it, but that's in the opposite direction. We could always do that when we get back.
I could still cut in.
You can still cut in, but I mean, this is not about the money. It sounded like you were trying to buy me. I'm not for sale.
No, I just don't want to keep you from reaching what you need to be complete, kind of. I don't know how it feels important to you to get this ability to read minds.
Well, I mean, the thing is, this is why they cast me out. Now I'm thinking, maybe this is just how I am.
And I think you're quite fantastic.
So maybe I will never be able to read minds. But nobody here can read minds. You said you couldn't.
I definitely can't. Honestly, it would be quite creepy to read minds. I don't think I would like to read minds of a lot of people.
So, where I come from, everybody can do it. So it's like dancing or jumping or knitting.
So nothing is saved from the outside? Every single thought you can have, everyone can read if they want to?
In theory, yes, but in practice we don't. Because that would be very intrusive.
Do you feel that someone reads your mind?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
But you, like I said, you don't do it. You have a couple of people that you share this gift with.
But there are always people that use things like that for their own.
Only the Dark Shroud. Only the Dark Shroud. But they are evil.
They don't sound good.
No, we fight them.
Well, they deserve kicking butts for doing that.
Oh, they do a lot worse. They kill people. Being able to read someone's mind makes it a lot easier to kill them. Because you can find them a lot more easily.
Yeah, and you can read what they are planning to do next, basically.
Yeah. But I mean, to me, it sounded like you were trying to pay me off so that I wouldn't come with you. And that really hurt. Because you said we were friends.
No, as I said, you are here only because you need money to get this ability. And I don't want to stand in the way of that. Because you will lose quite a bit of time.
Okay, so maybe we just were trying to do the best. We were trying to do what we thought was best for the other.
It seems like it.
And maybe we just need to accept that each of us is their own person. And if one makes a decision, then they should be able to make that decision. So if you want to give me some money, then I will gladly accept it. But I would say we leave it in your store because I don't want to go to wherever this place is that this young man was telling us about and lose it there.
That sounds like a plan.
And in return, you and I go together, but I'm not being paid for this. I'm coming as your friend.
That is deal.
She shakes your hand.
The village elder said we are stupid young people.
Well, she may be right. Also, maybe. What was it that this person, this man, last night?
Yeah.
He did something. I'm feeling a lot better now. I felt really weak last night.
Well, he can do basically anything he wants. That's how we got home as well.
Who is he?
Someone who helped me along the way.
Oh, he's a friend of yours.
Friend. I don't think he's friend. As long as I'm useful, he will help me as well. So, working relate partner. it's hard to describe.
He's not a human being, is he?
No, he's not. But he's the reason how I can do things like this, and a little puff of butterfly is showing up with her minor illusion and vanishes.
He's a god.
I don't think so.
Oh.
You've seen the horns?
Yeah, where I come from, we have many gods that have horns. We've got gods that have several arms.
Maybe he's I'm not. He's powerful. Let's put it at this.
Okay, let's put it like that, because I mean, this is for you to know and for me to perhaps one day find out.
And it's difficult sometimes. Well, it's not. He's usually just staying away and leaving me alone.
Does he visit you often?
No, I haven't seen him since I'm here, basically. I don't think he even... Well, he knows everything. So he clearly knew that I left home to move here. But he never visited here before. And honestly, I have no idea... He is nice. He is really nice. And I have no idea what his talk was about. Mother? I really... Well... Again, physically, yes, I must have a mother, because if not, I would not be standing in front of you, but I don't have a mother. I only have a father, and he's not a good person.
But you know him?
Well, he kept me under his foot for 22 years.
Is he the one you ran from?
Yes.
Oh, Casimir is your father?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I see. All right.
I was kind of like his little experiment slave kid.
Tell me you were adopted?
I was. He's not my real father, but kind of the only father I ever had.
Because this is the one thing that I can tell you about my parents. They are really nice people, and I know who they are.
Then you are lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Although, I learned a lot from Casimir. I met him through Casimir.
Oh! A mutual partner.
I think Casimir was not really amused about the idea that I had a good connection and grew stronger through it. You know, the candies I'm selling?
Yes.
Are from Casimir's shop. I have no idea how he made them. But they were a nice goodie in the shop we had there. And I just thought I will take all of them. Because I can transport them and it will give me a good start in my new life.
It has worked.
It has.
So now what we need to... We need to find out how to make them?
Yes, or find someone who can make them and is willing to do them, or show me how to do it.
Or make them for you and sell them to you, and you can sell them at a profit.
Or that. So, but we'll see. Maybe one day. I as far as I know, I might get stronger the more I train, and I know as well if I do a good job with this fiendish person thingy, I might get a reward.
I'll help you get that reward.
Depending on how happy he is.
I don't know much about them, but it seemed like it was quite urgent for him, this quest.
If not,
he really wants to happen this. He really wants this to happen.
Yes. At the same time, I have the question why he's not doing it himself. He's much stronger than I am. But maybe he has more important business to do.
Maybe. In the meantime, I think you and I should pool our thoughts on what we know about vampires. Because where I come from, we have plenty. in the stories.
I only know children's stories to scare the kids away to go out in the night, because as far as I know, they don't like sunlight. They like to drink blood. They don't like the stinky stuff.
Garlic.
Garlic, thank you. and you can stake them with wood.
This is something that I didn't know, but what we tell about the garlic, but what we tell is that they cannot be standing in running water. Or cross it. Well, they can cross it, so they can use bridges, but for example, they can't swim across a river.
That might be good if we have to flee, if anything goes wrong.
Mm-hmm. And when they are standing over a river, let's say when they are over a bridge, they're a lot weaker, so they say.
That would be good. I sometimes also hear stories about that they don't like silver and they don't like crosses. Like church holy crosses.
Actually, I don't, because we don't use... What's a cross? I mean, I know what a cross is, but what is a cross's significance? Is that kind of like a god?
No, but I think it's like a holy symbol thingy. I'm not... I think so. I'm also not sure. It's children's stories. It might all be humbug. I have no idea.
We basically say that they don't like the smell of incense. So again, with the stinky stuff.
It stinks for sure.
Mm-hmm. So maybe you get some garlic and I bring some incense, and between the two of us, we may give them a scare.
Does this little village towny thingy have a church?
Hamlet? Mm-hmm. It does. It's being repaired. The roof is being repaired in places, but yes, it's active, and you know that it is run by Sister Magella. It's the Church of the Sun Goddess.
I can ask Sister Magella if she has maybe anything she can give us to help. She's the running the church, and it's the Church of the Sun, so sunlight.
That's a coincidence, isn't it? Because the sun god is also where I come from, is the highest deity in the land.
Then let's have a short walk over. It's just I have no idea where it is in this town, but it will be around the corner, because everything around here is around the corner.
That is true. That is true. So you go to the church.
Yeah.
And you've been there before, because pretty much everybody goes to the church every so often. Mm-hmm. And
I would have definitely tried this just to be part, just to see. Mm-hmm. And watch and what they do.
Mm-hmm. So basically you walk inside, and she is there. She is dressing the altar, and she is putting up flowers.
Good day, sister.
Good day, Lyra.
I'm sorry for would you have like a minute?
Of course. What can I do for you?
It might sound a bit bizarre, but would you have anything that might help against a vampire?
Against a vampire?
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while since I've been asked this.
No, not in this town. No worries.
All right.
Because I don't think you have crosses, do you?
No, and she points to the altar on which you see a sun disk.
Mm-hmm.
Which looks like it's made of gold, or maybe gold-plated. Well, I mean, you could use this. And she, I'm told that put it on a vampire's grave, true grave, and they cannot get up.
Oh, that might be helpful. Thank you.
And she gives you a little container made of metal, like cheap metal, and it's round. And inside, when you open it, you see a host, or what looks like a host. So this is it's a representation of the sun disk that is shared amongst the community at what we would consider Holy Communion.
Thank you so much. I will throw some money in the box.
In the box. But where are you going with this?
North, as far as I know.
All right.
It's an adventure.
All right. Then be careful on your adventure, and if you see a vampire, destroy them.
I will try.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day as well.
And on the way out, she will drop the 2 gold that she got for the mushroom. She will drop in the box for the church.
All right. And she basically waves at you and she says, the goddess may be with you.
Thank you. It sounds wrong to say with you because I don't have an authority over your god. But thank you for being there for everyone here.
She smiles.
And now we visit the trading spot. We need proper clothing for you, Min.
Yeah. All right. So you go there.
She would drop what we bought so far first at the store to grab her pouch and a little bit more money. And then we go to the trader to get Min a nice pair of shoes, a proper pair of, not nice, a good pair of shoes that she can travel with without losing her feet to the cold, and a thicker coat that she's not freezing out there.
Okay. You go there and you find a coat quite easily. Shoes is a problem because what you notice is she just feels very uncomfortable wearing them. And she's like, well, I feel like I'm not really... I feel like I'm closed in.
Well, you literally put things around your feet, so yes, they are. Maybe just when we walk, and as soon as we make a break, you can just get your feet out and wiggle your toesies.
She looks very unhappy, and the man looks at her and he says, well, how about these ones? And he takes out a pair of very soft shoes. They're almost like ballet shoes, although, like without the point.
Yeah.
And he says, I got them in a long time ago. I want to say 3 years. Nobody buys them because they are too soft. But since you're barefoot all the time, I mean, they would keep you warm. But they're more like walking around in your bare feet. And she puts them on and she basically can wiggle her toes in them. You can see it. And she's like, they're nice. And they are actually, they are lined with mole pelt.
Ooh.
So they are really soft and they're really warm. And he says, Yeah, you can have them for a gold. Because I'm unable to sell them otherwise. And you can make a wisdom check for me. No, actually, well, what would be something like appraise? Would that be more wisdom or more intelligence based?
I think wisdom.
Okay, then make a wisdom check.
Oh, 20.
You know that basically even just the material, because the material is supple leather, and the mole pelt is something that's a bit hard to come by because moles are so small. So if you want to line shoes with them, you need to get a lot of them. 1 gold is a very good bargain. A very good bargain.
Lyra, are you sure you just want 1 gold for them? They are worth much more.
1 gold, because you're buying so much and you've bought more today already. So 1 gold will be fine.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
We will pay, or I will probably pay, because I suspect Min does not have the gold. Lyra has, so I think Lyra will just pay it, and we'll just we write it down, and you can pay me back.
Okay, that's a deal. All right. Okay.
And I need to open at least a tiny bit because some of the kids reserved some candies. I need to hand it out to them.
All right. Well, I can actually, get some stuff prepared. I'm a very good traveler, so I can pack stuff and make sure that we have provisions that will last.
Maybe it makes sense that you peek in at the cabinet maker and tell them that you will be back, but you will have a little bit of a break because we need to travel.
Oh, all right. I will do that. So I'll meet you at the shop, and then I will take care of the packing while you do the trading, and I talk to the cabinet maker.
Perfect.
And she runs off, and she's taking the dash action.
So I will return. I will just walk in and immediately put the sign to open, and prepare for, and just oh, darling. What do we do with you? Yeah,
Darling looks at you, and she's like, when she hears this, you stay here, she looks very sad. She gives you puppy dog eyes.
You can't travel with us.
I can so travel with you, you hear in your head.
Do I literally really hear it in my head?
No, but you're thinking that this is emotionally what she is thinking.
I know, but I need someone who take care of this here and make sure nothing happens. That would be your job.
She sits up really straight, and you can see the pride rolling off her. You've entrusted her with your shop.
I will send you human servants who can do the selling thingy, but it's your shop as long as we are gone.
She approves.
And they will make sure you will get fed, and if you like, they can also give you some pets.
She approves
and
wholeheartedly. Then she demands pets and scritches from you now.
Yes, I will sit down. I will just give her the lap she can roll up to, and then she will get scritches.
She purrs really loudly.
And I will sit there, giving
and the kids
cat...
start coming in.
Okay, then I will be like, just a second, and be like a little bit more, and then I'm sorry, we have. She will try to hold the cat awkwardly, and will give the kids the candy, either what they reserved or what they will buy.
Mm-hmm. There are some that reserved their candy, and they offer you additional coppers so that they can basically get their bargain, their purchases.
I will hand them out the little paper bags, the tiny ones where the candy is in. And I will let all of them know that I will be traveling, but from time to time the store will be open by run by one of the village. So in between, they will be able to get some more candy if they like to.
Bertie and James are back. They have 2 copper, and this time James gets to pick. James gets to eat it. He rolls a 3. What happens to James?
His ears are growing into furry cat ears.
They're in stitches again. Bertie basically tugs very lightly on the ear, and he says, "They're so soft." And then he's like, this tickles. And the 2 of them walk out again, arm in arm, and they're having a blast.
And he will hear better for the time that he has these ears. He will have a better hearing.
Okay, so he's really, really happy about this. It's a great thing that you gave them. They are really enjoying themselves. And after a while, Min is back and she says, "Look what I got." And she holds up a little piece of wood. It's just basically maybe 5 inches long, and it's and she says, "This is cherry wood. It's left over from something that they made. They gave it to me. I can carve it."
Oh, that's lovely. Oh, by the way, on the window, on the windowsill, no, on the mantelpiece of the fireplace is your token pendant thingy. It was a gift.
She goes over and she takes it and she puts it on.
You didn't leave the crow sign, did you?
I made it for you.
Oh. Thank you.
The problem is I didn't realize that it would remind you that you disliked your mother so much. So maybe, it was a bad gift.
I didn't think it was from you. I burned it.
Well, then that's for the better. And she holds up the piece of cherry wood. So tell me what you would like.
A cat would be lovely.
I'm going to carve you a cat. I don't think it's going to be as beautiful as Darling. And she smiles at the cat, and the cat smiles back. But I'll do my best.
Sorry, with all the weird crow-like things happening and the feathers showing up where they shouldn't, I was like, whoever's leaving the feathers behind is now leaving wooden thingies behind. And I was like, oh no, you leave.
Don't worry about it. Maybe it wasn't a good gift after all. But I will make you a beautiful cat.
If I would have known it was from you, I wouldn't have burned it.
She smiles. She says, "That's all in the past.
Okay.
It was an honest mistake."
Do we need anything else? So tomorrow, some of the people here will come by so I can show them around the store so they can open it when they need things or when the kids are getting too loud to get candy. And I think the day after we can leave then. I started to collect food. And I gave the mushrooms away to our village elder. She was quite happy. All the mushrooms we picked were edible.
Wow.
So we did a good job in looking up the mushrooms. Do we want to go to the inn?
Sure.
Getting a nice food in.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do they have your tea there? Or did you bring your tea and they just gave you some hot water?
I have my own tea and I brought it and I've got plenty.
Can I try it?
Sure.
I'm sure but they will have honey or sugar or something like
Absolutely. That. So let's go.
Awesome. Darling will get a last little scritch between the ears and then they will leave. She will close up the shop and we will walk over to the inn to grab some food, some drink, and the drink is then tea. And Lyra will ask just for hot water and a little bit of sugar or honey, whatever they can spare.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you basically, she has honey or sugar, so you get to choose.
Mm-hmm.
And you drink the tea with sugar, and you have your, Lyra has cordial again, but she also then drinks some tea because it is cold and everything. And so the evening draws to a close. The question is, how do you like the tea now that it's sweetened?
I think she will like it much more now that it's sweetened. I think that's more her cup of tea, as you say it.
Okay.
And she definitely likes it with sugar a lot more.
Okay. So basically then you make a little bit of a list of things that you still want to do tomorrow. Also, one of the things that you will have to do is you have to find out how to get to Nocturne. And basically Hugh comes over and he says, well, bad news, Lyra. I haven't been able to find anyone to go with you.
No problem. Thank you for looking around.
So you're not leaving after all? And he perks up.
No, I'm leaving. Well, we are leaving.
Alone? Oh, so you're not gonna go alone?
No. That would be crazy, wouldn't it? You have travelers coming in and out here. Do you by any chance know the city of Nocturne?
Oh, Nocturne is not a city. Nocturne is a castle.
A castle.
Yes.
Do you know how we can get there?
Yeah, there are two ways in which you can really go. I mean, there is the long way around. You go towards whichever way you go, you would first go to Red Cross. And then either you go through the forest via Trudit to Nocturne, or you go north from Red's Cross, go to Shadowdale, and then take the path from there. You skirt around the forest and go into the foothills of the mountains immediately.
Is there any kind of city or town? Is Red Cross
Red's Cross,
next? Yes. Okay, so that would be the next stop then for us. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Also for looking. Thank you so much.
Well, I mean, like I said, I was asking around, but people really are on their way home or basically booked, if you like, for the next couple of days. So
also wintertime is coming up. I guess
that
a
is
lot
true.
of them wanna go home, make sure. Yeah. But thank you for looking, and thank you for the good food again.
Yeah.
I will very sheepishly pay what I have to pay for foodage and drink, and I think generally we will then retire. Lyra will stay up probably a little bit longer tonight to try to finish the hat. And we'll let me try. Oh, it's okay. Not the perfect one, but she will manage to finish it. She will stay up as long as it takes, and then we'll go to bed as soon as it's done. And we'll wait for the next day where she have to show people around her shop, which feels very wrong, but also right at the same time.
Okay. And so basically we will leave it here for the night, and next time we will start on our way towards Red's Cross and maybe eventually reach Nocturne if nothing happens in between.
We will see. What could go wrong, right?
What could go wrong? Nothing could go wrong, because I mean this is the Wizard of Oz. Nothing can go wrong. Okay, Lynn. Thank you very much for playing. Thanks all of you for listening.
Thank you so much, and looking forward to see how the ladies will handle life out there. I'm quite sure Min will handle it much better than Lyra, but we will see.
We will see. And then talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.